Hey everybody, I think Jason is having some trouble. So let's start this off by first of all, it's good to be back in the winter side on the winners column. Um, no complaints on Levy this game, I guess you could say. Uh, but hey, for the most part, I would say, hey, defense played very well. I thought there were some times where the defense could have played better. There were some instances like that, but at the same time, you had a career day from Dillon Gabriel. So it's great to be back on the winner's side. You control your destiny, honestly, because I think with OSU losing today, obviously, Kansas losing now, they're pushing them to the side. Obviously, Texas with their woes, I thought that we were going to have some magic come from TCU, but obviously we didn't. So, biggest thing is man, just finish out these last two games the way that you need to. I think we'll get some help from Iowa State next week. We got a game in Provo next week. Obviously, we see Iowa State being able to handle business. Never know how we're going to fare against them simply because we don't know what Levy's going to do. If Levy shows up like he did today, then hey, everything is going to be fine. I thought Drake Stoops had a hell of a game. Obviously, it was nice to see Jaden Gibson get some run. It was nice to see Nick Anderson heavily involved as well, and it was great. It was definitely great to see us establish the run with Sawchuk as well. I thought he had some really explosive runs. Let's look over here to the comments. Let's see. Drake's on a heater. Mike agree career yards for Drake as well. I didn't even realize that. Let's see. Let's go. Yeah, keep us posted on that. Keep us posted on that. On that. I don't know. I'm over here tripping. Keep us posted on that USC Oregon game if you can in the comments. Let's see. Oh my God. They actually threw the ball to Stogner and it paid off. That is something. That is crazy. That is crazy. Gerald Preston, he said that Stogner was actually involved a little bit. It was nice to see him doing something else than, trying to block or whatnot. I thought that when they put Faneuil in the game as well, I thought he looked really good. If he could add some weight, I know he's a walk-on. Guys may say he's limited or whatever the case may be. When I watched him play, in a spring game, I thought he was a pretty athletic kid. So I would say that for me, if we could put some weight on him, I don't see why he couldn't blossom into maybe a poor man's version of Braden Willis. He's somebody that could add to your offense, I guess, at this juncture in the season until help comes on the way. I think the biggest question mark really is next year moving forward. Is Caden Helms ever going to be healthy? Which I know that he recently dropped a pod saying that, hey, he's got a few months left on his rehab. Lelvin, verdict's out on him as well. You got Devon Mitchell coming in. Probably need to go to the portal for a guy. I'm not really sure, but at the same time, you got to shore up that tight end room because I think that's a big piece that's missing from this offense right now because you need an extra guy, especially in that split zone that you want to run constantly. And not saying that Stogner has did a poor job, but it hasn't been great. It hasn't been good a lot either. So he's been very inconsistent. Let's see. Number 80, the tight end, I think is a bit of a gem for us. He could be a pass blocker for us next year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. James Strice says that. I mean, I think he could actually be pretty damn good for us next year. If needed. I mean, if needed. You're hoping that a guy like Caden Helms or Lelvin could step in as well and fill that role as well. So let's see. Didn't Mike Wilkerson? Mike says, didn't Kanik get a penalty for the same thing against UCF? I don't think so. I don't know. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Let's see. Chicken. He says, Chris, we are in second in the Big 12. We control our destiny as far as the Big 12. Chicken, are you sure? Because I know there's like a tie between all of us. I know Texas is at the top, but we need some help from Texas, and we need some help from O State as well. We need those two to lose one more time at least, right? Let's see. Let's see. Guys, I'm in the comments, so y'all just come to the comments as well. We're waiting on Jason to come to the show. He's downloading an update, so it's kind of taking him a second. So I'm over here running one man band. Let's see. Jackson. So Unc says Jackson Arnold needs to play. He's the first real action. His first real action can't be in the SEC. I agree with that. I thought it was kind of odd that you didn't see him, especially you haven't seen him at all since the SMU game. Or if somebody can correct me in the comments, but at the same time, I think that he probably should have played. Got some tick in at least for at least one drive or so. Let's see. Said Stephen G said, "Hey Chris, can we give a huge shout out to the veterans in here, if there is any?" Yeah, shout out to all the vets that's in here.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So, with that being said, we got Jason in here. Obviously, y'all see it. Hall of Fame college football podcast. Okay, my guy is here. I don't know what the hell's going on, but he's here.
So, shit, man, this whole thing is jacked up, brother.
I get it. But nah, hey, look, Horns Down Podcast as well. If you're watching it on either channel, like and subscribe to each channel. It definitely helps us out. So let's get this up. But yeah, shout out to all the veterans out there. But let's keep it moving. Jason, man, like I came on here and I said, man, look, I thought that Drake Stoops had a hell of a game. I thought Dillon Gabriel had a hell of a game. Dillon Gabriel this year is not necessarily the overthrows or the underthrows for me. It's the fact that him and Levy are so tied together by the hip that if one is lacking, the other one is lacking as well. So the thing was that it was great to see us spread them out, establish the pass, establish the run. You saw glimpses of that saw chuck from the Florida State game that you were like, hey, that's him. You played smart, you played consistent, you played together. I thought defensively they caught us just lacking on some of our they took advantage of our aggressiveness. But to hold that team to 20 points, knowing that they can score in spurts and they can put drives together, that is still a really good outing. Fact of the matter is, you blow this team out. Obviously we beat them by 39 points, damn near 40. So to me, I gave the overall effort. I'm gonna say a B. I'm gonna say a B, just to be a little bit critical. One thing that I definitely will say that I love Kip Lewis out there. I thought Kanek came into the game and played good in spurts, but I love seeing Kip Lewis out there, and I love seeing Kobe McKenzie out there. But Kip Lewis, I know Danny will want Kanek to be out there, but right now Kip is playing all over the place, man. Kip is that guy.
Bro, he's been great, right? I mean, I've been excited about the way I was excited about the way he played over the last couple of games whenever Stutz was out. Stutz came in, had himself a game, but this kid, he got a lot of confidence over the last couple of games, just being able to get in there and get some playing time. He got himself some confidence. So that's a big deal, man. I'm excited for him, and, it couldn't happen to a better guy. Kanak played good tonight. You're right, Bloody. I agree with you. Listen, the SEC chants that were going on there at the stadium were pretty wild. But I think that it was pretty clear that Oklahoma fans are kind of sick of these Big 12 refs and what's been going on in there. And look, man, that's the thing, though. You have to make sure that you come out and do what they did today and not allow them to be, not allow them to affect the game at the end. You know what I mean?
Got to be 10.
You go out, you go 59-20. That's a big deal.
Got to be 20 points better. Got to be 10 points better than them and 10 points better than a ref. So, I mean, it's simple as that. I've said that a bunch of times. It's as simple as that. Excuse me. I thought that, they tried us down the field a couple of times. I thought it was some questionable calls. Obviously, with some of the PI calls. I mean, we just touched on that. But for me, I thought Kanai Walker did a great job. I thought he just, hey, look, it's handsy out there. It's a bit handsy, but I didn't see anything that was just overall just egregious, One thing I will say, we were better on the penalties. I think we kind of spotted them. One of the last touchdowns that they scored, we spotted them that after that big scuffle after the fact. I thought that was, it was cool to see them lively and all the rest of this stuff, but you can't do that, especially if they go back and the Big 12 screws us by saying, hey, we saw who that was in the dark. It was Farouk. You know what I'm saying? So it's different things like that you got to say, hey, we have more to play for than they do. They're happy to be 6-4. They're happy to be 6-4 because they know that at the end of this year, sorry, Kuz, if you're watching this or if you do watch this, but Kuz, he's done. It's over. I'm sorry, he's gone. I don't know how.
I don't think he's sorry. I don't think anybody out in West Virginia is going to be sorry.
And I have nothing against Neal Brown. I think Neal Brown has done the best job that he could possibly do there. I think Neal Brown's a solid coach. Fact of the matter is, I think it's time.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe it is. But look at it. If he gets to 7-8 wins, how would you do that? That'd be his best season. And they were picked to finish last. They've been in a position to be in the conference championship game up until this weekend.
Yeah,
they have. But
I don't know how they would keep him, but at the end of the day, how I could come over to your side is by saying this: once OU and Texas lead the Big 12, I think everybody can call this the last Mulligan year. Let's see what you really got next year.
Fair enough. No doubt. No, listen, and I think that, in the end, look, I guess I'm going to ask the question. What are your thoughts about Dillon goes out there, throws 5 touchdown passes, but he missed some shots too. It just seems like he's tentative a little bit, and did they break him? Did freaking Levy break him?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I really don't know. Sometimes I just don't know. Like this last year, I could tell you, no, that was on Dillon. That was on Dillon. Mm-hmm. This year, I can't really tell you what's going on because there's some throws he shouldn't make, but then he responded. The way that he responded afterwards, that's kind of where you give that grace. I mean, it's hard to really, it's hard to really even criticize. Yeah, and I've been critical of him in the past. Everybody knows that on in this who's in here on this chat. I've been critical of Dillon and Gabriel, but it's hard to really criticize anything that a guy does whenever he has 8 touchdowns and it counts for over 400 something yards. Go ahead.
That's what I'm gonna say. I felt like in the first half maybe he was broken. That was something that I said in the in the Discord to some of my guys there, and that's the thing is I was a little worried about that because he missed a couple of shots here and there, and it just seemed like whatever it was that happened after the Red River game, it was still hanging over. But I agree, and I know I'm kind of giving him no grace. But I agree. I think that he came through in the second half, and when you needed to get it done, he got it done.
Hey, go up. Chicken had a comment on here. He was saying that he thought that the game time management was excellent. Give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, man. They ran the ball. That's the other thing. It was something that I want to bring up these stats here. I've been so trying to screw with all this stuff that it was messed up. But look, they ran the football. You had 100 yards of freaking for Gavin Sawchuk in the first half. And that's huge, man. That is huge for OU to get that done. I think that finally, you said it before, he's either going to call his best game of the season or of his life, or it might be the worst. I mean, we've heard a lot of crazy stuff coming out of there, all week. So I kind of felt the same way. It was either going to be really good or really bad. And, I just think that, it's pretty clear what's been going on the last few weeks because, I mean, for them to be able to come out there and turn it on like they did, it's a shame that they did already get turned on before now,
Here's another comment. Rory Golden.
Hold on. Go ahead.
He said,
no, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Rory Golden, he said, Dillon played well, but also we kept the foot on the gas. We didn't give any series away, and that was the difference. That was the major difference in this game, in my opinion. We didn't give any drives away. We didn't really stall, and when we did, we came out there, and again, I'm gonna use that word. We responded. It was the way that you responded. I can't wait to watch this game back, or at least watch the highlights and some of the film back, just to kind of see what were some things that you could clean up. This is a game, we're talking a lot about offense. Defensively, obviously, you come out there, you give up that first touchdown, and West Virginia's feeling pretty good about themselves, but then you tighten up and you get ready for that. My question is simply this right here. How many damn teams are we going to face that are coming off a bye? So, yeah, BYU's not going to have that luxury, and God forbid TCU probably have that luxury, So, we're facing a lot of teams that are coming off, but eventually they had to get up out of that stuff. That was a big problem for them. So, I thought our punting was well. Nothing wrong with our special teams was solid outside of Gavin Freeman tonight. Sorry, but at the end of the day, I thought defensively you tightened up, you got stops. How about the goal line stand yet again? You get another goal line stand. You get to hang that banner up. So, I mean, like I said, man, it was a great performance overall.
No, man, I'm with you. And if you look at it, with DG getting, 23 of 36, that's I think most of those misses were in that first half. But 423 and 5, that's probably one of his better games of the year. Then he has 3 touchdowns on the ground, right? Or was it? Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, what are you gonna say? He's got 3 TDs, 8 total touchdowns. That's a big day. 644 total yards. They hang 59. I mean, yeah. I mean, it is kind of what it is. And look. Yeah, Unc says I'm so sick of Freeman. Telecast I was watching when they called PI on Oklahoma and it wasn't. Then they showed the non-call PI on Stoops last week, completely kicking the referees and the balls live on TV, which was awesome. Yes, I saw that part. I was laughing. And yeah, talk about, it was kind of a good day coming in. I mean, I think that before they ever took the field, they kind of knew that all they had to do was go out there and perform. Look, you go out there and perform, and now, hey, you got 2 games for Okie Light to gag, and hey, never, ever, ever underestimate the gag reflex of a Mike Gundy football team. Never do it, particularly when they are in a position to freaking go into a championship game. Don't underestimate the gag reflex, fellas. You can't do it because they will go out there and find a way to screw it up every freaking time. You know they will. And I just think that, hey, listen, what did he say? He said that the better team didn't win during his presser today. Shocker. Sounds just about like an Okie Light team. Look, Ollie Gordon has carried them on his shoulders, but they went away from him. And of course they kind of had to once they were down freaking 24 to 3 real early. Yeah. It
got bad, especially when that rain started to really pour. It got bad.
Yeah, and they're saying right on the telecast on that one. Yeah, they were saying right on the telecast on that one. That was the crazy part, was that they were saying that they didn't have any kind of rain gear for them. They had a really small tent over there that they could try to keep everything dry. Not enough towels, not enough gloves, anything like that. Are you serious? It's freaking hurricane season. What the hell are y'all doing? It rains once a day in Florida. Clowns. Just like the better running back didn't perform. Yeah, whatever. That's the whole thing. You can count on Gus to go out there and screw up somebody's season once a year. You can do that, But, yeah, I think you go out there and you see coming into it, we need to check on this Texas game. I haven't seen what's going on in it. But is it close? Is it – what do we see? What do
you
we
said
see
a who?
so far? The Texas game, is it over with?
Yeah, that game's been over.
Shit, I
AD
missed
Mitchell caught a hell of a pass falling down, and that's what sealed the game.
But they almost lost it again.
Yeah, they won by 3.
Wow.
You can't make this up.
Bro, so here's the thing. You think that, who's to say that Okie Light doesn't blow another one? If Okie Light blows another one, then that's it. Kansas did their job and lost, for Oklahoma. They did their job and lost. So then you've got, essentially, right? You've got Okie Light. They're going to probably lose again. And even if ISU, I could see them losing one of the last 2 games, even with Quinn back.
Texas Tech is the game. Even though that's at home, that's the game that probably scares me the most. Who do they play next week? Oh, they play at Iowa State. That's a game right there, too.
It's a night game at Iowa State, and they're right in the thick of it, too.
Yeah.
And they've done everything but lose it to them they lost to them 2 years ago, and then they almost lost again last year.
What time do we play BYU? That's the question.
Man, I don't know. I hadn't said anything on it. Let me check. I can look and see here. Yeah, the main thing is we know it's the same thing that we were saying before. You got to go out there and freaking get it done. It's still to be announced. They still got it as TBA.
I would love to catch them at like 11 a.m. or go out there at 2:30 or something like that. It'd be good. I really don't want to go there at night. I don't want to play there.
Is it 7:12 p.m. for you, Lemon? Still, it's still showing TBD on CBS. So I don't know on the CBS site, and I hadn't seen anything other than that so far.
So yeah, I don't mind going up there at night, but I would rather just go there in the daytime, get it over with. Let's get back because you want the guys to get.
They need to handle it either way. I can tell you this. This hopefully you can get some freaking momentum out of this. And look, I don't know what's going to happen with Mature after that fight. Do you think isn't it automatic when you get ejected, you miss the first half of the next game at least, or you miss the next game?
I'm not sure, but Matoir did Matoir even start? That's something that we haven't really talked about is that offensive line because we saw some new faces out there, and actually I was okay with it.
Yeah, talk about it.
I thought they were nasty. I thought they were physical. I thought that they complemented Rain very well, which is sometimes hard to do because you can't play your game. You have to play a game that really complements him. Obviously, no bad snaps on his part. I talked to Ty earlier this week, and Ty told me, if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Ty Hayes, Around the Table Sports, shout out to our guy Ty. Ty says, hey, man, if 73 comes to the SEC with y'all, we eating his ass up every play. He said, Bama, we eating his ass up every play. He said he's bad. He's bad. When Ty says stuff like that, hey, it's because Ty don't go after people like that. He don't go after players, but he even said Rain is bad. And I'm not here trying to criticize the guy, but it just, people want to talk about us going from Caleb Williams or Baker and Collar to Dillon or whatever, such and such, right? We ain't even talked about the fact, man, we went from Creed Humphrey to Andrew Rain. So, that it's not it's just hard, man, because it's a 4-star it's an in-state kid that you're like, hey, has all the potential in the world. It just 3 games in, best you've ever seen. Other 3 games, the worst ever to ever put on a OU helmet. You're just like, I don't know what I'm getting today. It feels like whenever you see a very physical or athletic or just honestly just a big abled body individual at that nose tackle or at any D tackle, either D tackle spot, I'm just saying it's It's like a struggle because that's what's really been killing us on the inside is that McGuire and all of them are having to help so much. And then when they're doing those stunt games, who's coming through? Right there, right up the middle.
Hey, we can say coulda, shoulda, woulda, Caravan. You know, coulda, shoulda, woulda. It's all I can say is that, you know what? Sometimes you're going to come back to the mean, you're going to screw it up. And in the end, you know, we know why. We know what happened and how. And kind of is what it is, you know. But it's just, yeah. And, yeah, you're right on this one. Yeah. Physical twos, technique, piss poor. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, James. I think you're right.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you know, it just kind of is what it is. Just kind of is what it is. But look, here's the thing, guys, and I would just tell you that they still have they're still playing for it. You know, they go out there, they take care of business next week. Then they got TCU at home in the finale. If you go out there and take care of business, I mean, I feel like if you go out there and take care of business the next 2 weeks, you're going to find yourself in Arlington. Because who here, tell me one person in here that believes that Okie Light doesn't drop one of their next two. Tell me one person in here. One person tell me that they don't believe that Okie Light loses one of their next two. Because I don't. There ain't no damn way in my mind that they find a way to not screw this up. This is what Gundy does. Like I said, you can set your damn clock by it. Did they have a come to meeting? Oh, yeah. I think it's been kind of going on all week. You don't believe what? You don't believe that Okie Light's going to lose another game? Unc, are you serious? But you think who? What? You think, weren't you saying that Texas is going to lose another game up here earlier? Who said that? You believe Texas is going to lose to Iowa State. Either way, that gets Oklahoma in. Listen, I hope that Oklahoma gets another shot at. It'd be great to have a Bedlam freaking conference championship if it's not going to be Texas. You know, Okie Light in 2 weeks faces BYU next week. They win. Who do they play next week?
Houston.
How do
They
we know?
play
Is it at
Houston.
home? Hey, you don't think they could take a Dana? Get Dana? I do. Look, they gagged it up today. Hey, thanks for the super chat bag, man. He says, my bad, Jason. We didn't lose to West Virginia like I predicted. Yeah. I'm glad you got it wrong, my man. I'm glad you got it wrong. Thanks a lot for the super chat. Good stuff. You said I need Texas to. I think Houston could beat LSU. Hey, look. Again, do not underestimate the gag reflex of Mike Gundy and his football teams when they're in a position to play for it all.
It really depends on if two things can happen. One, can Houston actually connect on that deep ball? Can they be consistent with that? Can they stretch that field and make them be honest? And then two, the thing is can you stop those slants? Can you play them straight up and stop those slants that they want to run consistently with those wide receivers? And then they lull you to sleep with that, and then they'll run some little mesh concept with a little mesh route for Presley. And then that's wherever they start really getting to a rhythm. If you can stop all of that, then you're good.
Look, the OSU hate is real. I don't like them either, but it's Houston. It's Houston, yeah, but what is – they just got smoked on the road at UCF, who was worse than Houston. Gundy's OC says Gundy doesn't have a gag reflex. I love it, James. Thank you
I just love it whenever they say this last one counts for 73. I'm like, shut up. Like, that's what's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And Houston almost beat Texas. Yep. Look, I'm telling you, I think they lose another one. I think that I don't know who the hell's going to end up in there, but I feel like if OU needs to handle this business and they're in, because I think they're both going to gag it up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at either one of them. I wouldn't be surprised if you end up facing KSU in it by the time it's all said and done.
Nobody wants to get Dana D.
Yeah, Danid. That's what we were talking about earlier in the year, Danid. But
no, I mean, like I said, you just got to handle your business. We're right there in the mix of things, yet again. So I mean, it's kind of on Texas.
Look at that.
It's on Texas and no State.
With an injury, and he's been dinged up for weeks.
Yeah,
Dillon Brooks he's been dinged up for weeks, and they've had to rely on him. You know,
who do they play next week? They play
Iowa State.
Oh my
Iowa
gosh!
State.
Why? How do I keep forgetting? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Look, yeah, I mean, whatever. Even if Sark does win 10, it's because it's a mid freaking conference, man.
Yeah,
it's a mid conference. Period. Plain and simple. Who do you want? K-State, Texas, or Okie Light?
Obviously, I want Okie Light. Obviously, I want Okie Light just one more time to go ahead and say, shut the hell up. We don't want to hear no more. But
yeah, because after all week, whenever he was saying that the game didn't matter, and then all of a sudden it matters after they win it, you know.
Bro, I mean, let's just be real. It's loser mentality. The whole thing is when I was there, you're leaving games and everybody's like, it's okay. We're still 8-2 right now, or we're still 10-2 right now. He's like, it's not good enough. They love to talk about, OU fans always love to talk about the last national championship. Okay, y'all's last national championship was one that was claimed in 1945 when Army was undefeated. And in
Big 12, and all the men were off at war.
hey, and the last Big 12 championship that they won was back in 2011. So the question is what are we really talking about here? Enjoy your win. Enjoy your win.
You better hope to hell you don't get them again. Swain was trying to say that he can't wait. He hopes that Oklahoma plays them in the conference championship game. Yeah. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, folks. Plain and simple. There ain't no two ways around it. Hey, guys, make sure that you are hitting that like button. I don't know how many. Let's see. We've got at least 50-something folks in here right now. I'm going to check these likes. Look, we need you to hit that like button. It's it's all that matters to us right now. It's very important for us as creators. We appreciate it. 27 likes out of 52, and on Kchris's, what do we got in there? Make sure you hit the like button, folks, please. Got 13 watching in there, and we've got 11 likes. Okay. All right, so we're good in there. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. All right. Yeah, 100% disrespect to their 45 national championship, especially on today. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Where was the song? I didn't hear his name at all.
I don't know where the Son McCullough was. That was kind of my question. But hell, Dolby filled in very well. It may, my last thought whenever I saw Dolby, especially when Dolby came through and got that sack on that blitz, I thought that I was like, well, maybe it was a matchup thing. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And that's something else that we got to talk about as well. Going into next year, now obviously you're going to have some new guys and all the rest of that stuff, and some guys who haven't started all that much, but I feel like next year you should be able to say, hey, I don't have to bring Dolby in here to play Cheetah. I don't have to bring Peyton Bowen to play Cheetah unless I want to. You get what I'm saying? I think that you're going to have
Mm-hmm.
McCullough. I think McCullough is going to figure it out. Obviously, that cheetah position, I think he's going to be able to be on the field, especially in those pass downs and stuff like that. So I think next year is going to be damn. You're going to see what I think this group is going to do work, that defensive unit.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, thanks a lot. Love the SEC chant, huh? And Caravan says he would rather beat Texas twice.
I feel that. I feel that.
It's all good.
I'm
cool with that too. I'm cool with that too. And yes, shout out to Bucky's. Shout out to Bucky's. Shout out to our new. Shout out to our new. Listen, I've been trying to work on this. We're gonna have a giveaway coming up pretty soon for our new sponsor. It's DevilDog's Brew and Beans. Get on there, DevilDogBrewandBeans.com. If you're a coffee drinker, man, they've got some amazing coffee to go check out. And you can go on there and use the promo code Boomer, and your first order will be 10% off. They actually ship, they roast, grind, and ship your order in the same day that you make it. So, to guarantee freshness, unbelievable. I got my first package of it today. So we're gonna have some. It's been having issues with the camera all day today, so that's why I'm even still on my phone right now. So that's why you got kind of a weird feed going on. But listen, get out there, support these guys. 5% of all the proceeds, and this is a great time for it to happen. 5% of all the proceeds go to Wounded Warrior. That means an awful lot to me, more than any of the rest of it. And if we can get a good thing going with them, I'd like to donate even more to that. So it matters a lot to me. So get out there, take care of our sponsors, and so because they take care of us, man. Okay.
Hey, I was going to chime in and say, hey, Thunder, I saw what you said. Caleb Williams fumbled the ball again. Caleb Williams looks like Johnny Manziel running around that pocket right now. He's doing so many circles.
Golly, dude. Poor guy. I need to pull that up just to watch for a second. YouTube TV. There we go. Yeah, listen. So what are your biggest thoughts? If you're going to give, what is your biggest takeaway from today, and what do you see moving forward?
Biggest takeaway was the aggressiveness on both sides of the ball. Like Mike said earlier in the comments, it was complementary of each other. I thought that you saw a very, very physical defense that was aggressive early and often. I thought you saw them get bit a little bit, but at the same time, they were able to bounce back. It's the way they responded, just like the offense, the way that they responded. I thought offensively, you were able to put them in quite a bind. They thought they had perfect coverages, and you found guys open all day long. That's the Levy offense that we're looking for. Then you saw some of the stuff that would wrinkle in. I thought Farouk made a hell of a play on that. That play should have been dead in the backfield. But the thing is that it's a time and a place for calls such as that. But when Levy calls a straight up game, it's definitely going to work. It's definitely fine. I like it. So overall, I gave this team a B. I think there's a lot to clean up. I'm gonna say there's some to clean up, and some of those things are pretty big things. But hey, I thought it was a really good performance overall.
Absolutely. Stephen G asking here, have we talked about Tech beating Kansas? Look, you want to talk about the Big 12 refs trying to do everybody a favor. Kansas had that thing, and they did everything. Texas Tech had that thing for the longest time. They did everything to let Kansas right back in it.
Yeah.
Me and Chris were talking about that during it. We were rooting for chaos, but it almost didn't happen. And Joey McGuire showed his chops there and how he handled that timeout when he made that timeout, and they were questioning it on the air, about him making that timeout. But it was big, Yeah, WV12's glad we're leaving for the SEC. Yeah. Yeah, I bet he is too. Look, and that's the thing. And you start looking at what they did to them today, and this is one of the better secondaries in the country. They've been great all season long. Nobody's really put up big passing numbers on them at all. Even Penn State, they did everything pretty much on the ground. So this was big, and that should give you some. Hopefully, you'll carry this momentum into Provo next week, right? I think that's the biggest thing. I hope that you can carry that into Provo.
Yeah,
we'll see kind of what happens, you know.
So two things to keep in mind. First off, you turned Green into what he actually was. The past 2 years, the guy has looked like freaking what's our boy over there? Josh Allen against us. He's been able to hit guys on those slants consistently, and he was moving the ball with his own legs. So you turned him into a passer tonight, and it was definitely inconsistent. Did not like that. Second off, one thing to take note of, I don't know who the hell we're going to see going to Provo next week. Why do I say that? Because they're starting their backup quarterback. They started him tonight. So Keaton Slovis is no longer he's not the starter. I almost said no longer there. He's not the starter.
Yeah,
and
the
so
other guy hadn't looked good either.
Yeah, they think that he's more mobile and he's going to give that offensive boost because their running game is struggling. So we'll see what happens next week.
Hey, Bloody, he said, shout out to all veterans of my son who is serving in the station in South Korea right now. Shout out to your son, Bloody. Shout out to your son, man. Give him our love whenever when you talk to him. I know you probably do often, but thank him for his service for me. Appreciate that. Really, really do. Yeah. Sawchuk ran hard. He did, and there was a couple of times that, just that one little tackle kept him from breaking out and getting a touchdown. Big time thing. And I'll tell you something. I love this attitude that Stoops is playing with. I mean, he took that big hit in the end zone. And, man, look, I don't have a problem really with the guy getting thrown out. I hope it doesn't keep him out of the game, moving forward. But, I would say, how was that first month punt and fumble? It looked like the coverage team pushed us in. Freeman. That's
that's what the replay showed, but
Yeah, but again, the Big 12 officials are not going to give you that, right? Not going to give you that. Being suspended 3 games in the beginning of the season and the last 3. I don't even know why he's taking it. I mean, they've apparently got proof that they've got some hackers going on at Ohio State and Michigan, don't they? Breaking into each other's freaking computers and showing where they're freaking sending stuff back and forth on that stuff. BB said the son was banged up and held precautionary. Okay. Yeah, I did too. We had 2 sacks tonight. Yeah. But they also the thing is like they kept him running. And I'll tell you what, you had another, that 4 down, holding them on, 4 straight plays down on the goal line again, kind of is what it is, fellas. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about it. Look, the defense I think that you had a couple of regressions back to the mean and stuff like that, but I think that you're seeing that they continue to get better and better. And you've had a lot of injuries and stuff like that, but even last week, I mean, this is 2 weeks in a row that you haven't allowed either a team to get into the 30s. In today's college football, you're not going to hold everybody scoreless or to 10 points, particularly conference opponents. I mean, with the offenses and the way that they do those things, But yeah, and that's the main thing is that you were able to go out there and get a big. They're just running right through them like Coach would say, they're running through them like shit through a goose, man. Easily. They started on their freaking goal line and they're pretty much on their goal line and they're freaking just rolling right down the field. Fire and Grinch didn't matter. No, you can't allow that. And that's the thing is you got to go out and do the same thing next week and the week after that. You cannot afford to, they're going to do the best they can to keep Oklahoma and Texas from playing in the conference championship game. They're just going to do that. Yeah, dude, and I agree with you, Carolyn. I do. Don't celebrate too much and practice hard. Look, I think that at this point, if they don't have enough maturity to stay up for this game. Oklahoma's never beaten BYU.
That is true.
And knowing that you got to win out to get into the conference championship game, you can't have it. You cannot have it. The defensive stand after the muff punt was also impressive. They could have just folded there after they had already forced a 3-and-out. Yeah. Yep, you're right. I'm with you, bro. They just kept it. Yeah, they had forced a 3-and-out right before that, then had the muff punt. Yep, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, yeah, I guess my last thoughts on it is just that I'd give them – I think that for coming out and doing what you got to do, I think, B+, A- maybe. The defense, you definitely got to give them all the props in the world, holding them to 20. And really, they gifted them at least 7 of those points. They went out there, they continued to, they kept their foot on the gas, just like we talked about. I'll give Levy his props, and it was what it was. I was happy about the way that they came through and handled their business. They came through and handled their business. So, look, we'll talk a lot about this kind of moving forward into the week when we get all this all straightened out with the studio. I don't know what's going on with the cameras and stuff, but I was downloading stuff, and now the audio's not working. The camera was working, the audio wasn't. So I don't know what was happening now. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, anyway, guys, Troy Franklin has 2 catches for 147.
I don't even know who's calling plays for them right now, but it's not working either.
Yeah. OU is better with Danny playing. Yeah, that's a hot take, all right, Stephen G. It's a hot take. Hey, man, they love it when – hey, you know what, too? And he made his presence felt right away, right? DG and Drake was going off. They were. Mm-hmm. Well, but here's the thing. The rest tried. They just – look, you're going to tell me you don't believe that they would have screwed them? They would have screwed them if they had the chance. Because they would have. Don't give them the chance to step on their neck. If you beat the face off of everybody, then the rest can't. You have to be better than them, period. Yeah. I think they were trying. Complimentary football is another good way to say it. I think they did that well. Yeah. Hey, I'm in. I mean, I think it was a good week. Chris, any final thoughts?
No, man. Final thoughts. I thought it was a great performance overall. I've said it time and time again throughout this podcast. I thought it was a great performance. Hey, I think it can only get better. We got 3 more games, people. Excuse me. We got 4 more games. Let's just put it like that. You got to speak it into existence. We got 4 more games. Just trying to chip away to get to that Big 12 championship game. That's all that we're trying to do now. So with that being said, hey, man, we're 8-2. We're 8-2. We're where we want to be right now. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that stuff, but I'm just saying, don't think that they wouldn't have done it again.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they wouldn't have done it again. Hey, period, point blank, they would have. But they didn't. Oklahoma went out and handled their business. They did what they needed to do. And Jeff Levy called a better game. And look, maybe this you got to call them to know what they are. You got to call them to know what they are. Let's just not look at let's stay positive with them this week and hope that it continues to be that way. Hey, man, look, he needs 350 in 4 games. Yeah. Look, I mean, Stoops I don't care how many yards he has. He's been a leader on that offense, man. He's been a leader on that offense, particularly the last few weeks. He steps up. So, it's not about yardage so much for him. And look, here's the deal. No matter how many yards he gets this year or how many touchdowns he ends up with or any of that stuff, he's probably not going to get drafted anyway. It doesn't mean he's not going to have a career in the NFL. They love guys like that. He's like Julian Edelman. He'll have a shot, right? He's going to get a shot. You can call it what it is, but the rest is still in games. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. There's no disagreement here, Stubby. None. I agree with you 100% on that. But in the end, if you give them an opportunity to do it, you better expect it to happen more, because it will. Brian Odom's calling plays for USC. Is that right? How's that? It's not working. It's not working. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, hey, we're gonna get out of here. Chris, tell everybody obviously how to find you.
Hey guys, look,
We'll
Horns
shut it
Down Podcast on YouTube, all one word. If you want to just look it up that way, we're on any podcast platform that you could think of. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all those podcasts. But yeah, definitely hit us up on YouTube. That's where you can find us. Like, subscribe to the channel. Also, you can find me on Twitter at Chris with the _K, KCHRIS with a _K. Got some great content on there too at the Horns Down Pod. That's where you
Absolutely.
Can
find. Hey, if you're not already a subscriber to Chris's show, I don't know what we're waiting on. We got to get this guy to 1,000, man. We got to get him to 1,000. We need to get him going on that so he can, start taking his super chats and stuff like that too. But hey, guys, thanks a lot for coming in. We appreciate all you guys showing up and talking it through with us. Hey, another big week for Oklahoma. They got to keep their nose down and keep it going. But I'm excited about the way they play today. Horns down as always. And hey, guys, we will see you on the next one.